Republican voters across the country are sick and tired of Republicans because they never do anything to hold this government accountable. Republicans go out on the campaign trail and go on TV and do their 5-minute hearing videos and post up on social media and say all this garbage about how they're going to fight it and stop it. I feel like many of the American people that think that Republicans in Congress completely fail them. I feel the same way, and I'm a Republican member of Congress.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Marge the Trainwreck Greene went off on fellow Republicans last week on Capitol Hill as CNN's Manu Raju documented the craziness. Marge's world was turned upside down when Kevin McCarthy was removed from the Speaker's chair earlier this year. It has left the Georgia Republicans' head spinning.
You want to know the battle I want to see won? I want to see the battle won for the American people. Our border is so over. I'm fed up with the foreign wars, Vinny. I haven't funded Ukraine a penny, and I'm sorry, I stand with Israel, but I didn't send them any money either. You want to know something? They are kicking Hamas's ass right now, and not American dollar has gone over there to help them yet. Not $1, and they are doing a great job defending their own country, defending their people. But we've had over 10 million people cross our border, over 1.8 million gotaways, and we know terrorists are among that 1.8 million. We don't know how many there are. I would argue there's tens of thousands in our country right now.
Marge had negotiated backroom deals with McCarthy to get placed on committees, and when he got canned, all of her agreements did too. She hasn't seemed to be able to recover from that either. What Marge is belly aching about is pure nonsense. She thinks that her cohorts in Congress aren't doing enough to hold the government accountable. All she is doing is causing a scene to remain in the public eye. Marge's idea of accountability is harassing the Biden family over unhinged conspiracies that she and James Comer cook up. Their nonsense has been nonstop and highlights the hypocrisy of Republican values. They always claim to have smoking gun evidence, but they never actually provide anything except lies. Even after being proven wrong by facts, they can't admit that they were wrong. One of the reasons that the extremists that removed McCarthy cited was his unwillingness to subpoena Hunter Biden. Marge and James Comer wanted to interrogate the president's son with baseless accusations and allegations of wrongdoing. What it boils down to is that they are doing the bidding of Donald Trump. The people who were pulling McCarthy's strings wanted him to abuse his power and were angry when he didn't. They decided to oust him and replace him with the architect of Trump's big lie scheme, Mike Johnson.
For too long, communist Democrats have been hell-bent on erasing our culture, way of life, and our history, whether we agree with it or not. 2020, nearly 168 Confederate symbols were removed across the United States, many of which were violently torn down by radical BLM Antifa activists that burned American cities to the ground. Most recently, the statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee that stood for nearly a century in Charlottesville, Virginia, was dismembered and melted down in a 2,250-degree furnace. The news media was quick to flood social media with video posts of the statue's head melting down in fire. This was the message. The communists in our country have made it clear that they will not stop with Robert E. Lee and will continue to do this until George Washington's statue is burning in fire.
The truth is that Marge lost her hold on any influence that she may have worked out under McCarthy's leadership. She's been like a fish out of water ever since he got the boot. She seems desperate at times. Marge is probably not fitting in well with the new GOP leadership. She's not a team player and is more of a liability than anything else. Maybe her Republican counterparts are sick of her as well. Marge doesn't have a fast track to power anymore, and it's all sour grapes for her now. She's complaining because she's not the center of attention that she was under McCarthy. This tirade is just for show. Marge the Trainwreck Greene is playing a role. She's always acting like the victim, but in reality she's just an entitled jackaloon. Marge is a sellout that represents the outer fringe of her party. She's in it for the money, not to do right for her district. She's throwing shade on her own party because she is not in the same position she was before. Marge the Trainwreck Greene is desperate to be relevant. She's a moron that wants to dictate how things should be done. Marge is a do as I say, not as I do jackaloon that's acting like a preschooler. She's not getting her way, so she's causing a scene. We can all see through her moronic charade. She is a bumbling idiot, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.